Hi guys, it's April, and I have a book review for you today, and please ignore whatever is happening with my face, because this is just my life right now. So I will do this review the same way I do all of my other reviews. I will have the non-spoiler section up front, followed by the spoiled filled thoughts. After all of that, just in case you don't want to be spoiled, but if you do, feel free to just hang out with me for this whole review. So today I want to talk about Legend Undone by Angie Day. I received a copy of this book for a free and honest review, and that in no way changes how I viewed this book. This is the story of Mara, who is a legend. Legends are super beings that have special abilities, but are currently trying to live under the radar, under human knowledge, and this creates a lot of tension between some legends and some humans. Mara is part of an organization called the Shadows, who are slowly working to become one of the superior races. You gonna leave? One day, Mara realizes that maybe this isn't exactly the life that she has wanted or has been led to believe it is, and she tries to break away from the Shadows. This is basically her story, learning about her past, learning about what it really means to be a legend, what it means to be a human, and how all of that comes together and coalesces. As far as storyline and plot goes, it is fairly interesting to see how this subculture of superhumans exist, what their powers are, what they can do. It feels a lot like vampires, I won't lie, I'll throw that out there. And so a lot of the time, I did a lot of comparing between the two, where vampires can be this very soulless creature, killing indiscriminately, and then you always have that redemption arc. And that is what this story is. This story is Mara trying to find her redemption, not necessarily being happy with who she is becoming or what she has done in the past. It deals a lot with darker side of characters. Now I will note that while I liked a lot of what the subplot and the plot was doing, it wasn't necessarily executed as far as I wanted it to go. You can very much tell that this is the author's first writing. There are a few disjointed places where you get kicked out of the story a little bit just because wording is a little awkward. You can also tell in the character development that these characters aren't fully fleshed out as they could be. They don't necessarily stand on their own merit. A lot of things happen out of convenience, and a lot of it just feels very, very tropey and stereotypical of how things should play out between certain kinds of characters. It is a read that I got into very quickly and I read through very quickly, so it does have that going for it, but it didn't necessarily have a depth of plot or a depth of character development that I truly look for in these kind of works. For a starting point, this is a easy to get through read if that is something you are looking for. So overall, this read was pretty okay. It's nothing I'm super excited about or I'm going to run out and tell a whole lot of people about besides this review. I can definitely see where this author could be going in the future and developing in the future, so that should be interesting to see. So those are my opinions. I'm now going to go into some spoiled filled thoughts. Not a lot, just a few, but that is going to be a thing I am going to do at this point, so if you do not want to be spoiled, I suggest you slowly leave and then come back because we need some words together. I think the biggest thing I want to mention here, especially since I already talked about some of the other things that I felt could have been developed more, is this story doesn't feel like it was completed. It felt like it was very much left for more to happen afterwards. I don't know if there's going to be more in this story. I don't necessarily like where it ended because I felt like there was this huge buildup for something. And then all of a sudden it was just all about, okay, we're walking out of this place. That's all we've got. For a majority of this story, it was a very tropey romance of I see this guy, I think there might be something a little special about him, but I'm going to ignore him because I'm being hunted for whatever reason. Then more I get to know him, which all seemed to happen really fast. Timelines in this story didn't feel real. The gaps between things didn't feel like they were necessarily set up so we felt those gaps. It was almost felt like it was one day to the next, so the development between the relationship didn't feel authentic. I struggled with that a little bit, and I think that comes into that tropey nature of you have this high-level boy and this high-level girl. Of course, they're going to come together and just have this epicness happen with them as they reveal things about each other. I did like to see the family dynamic in this, but like I said, I felt like there was a build-up towards something and we never got that something. So I don't necessarily, so I know a lot of this story was supposed to be about the redemption of Mara and her becoming Kate, but I don't feel like that was enough to keep the story going, or should have been the end as she walked out, because there's just so many loose things. So there is that. Those are some of my thoughts that have been going on because of this read. Let me know down below what your thoughts are about this, if you plan on reading it, if you have read it, if you've gotten to this point in the video, just tell me down below, and I heart your beautiful faces. Bye.